If you are a low income earner and you think you cannot save $10,000 fast, this is for you. Saving $10,000 is definitely a milestone for many of us, especially considering that 1 in 4 Canadians are unable to meet a $500 unexpected emergency, and 21% of Canadians say they have less than $1,000 in their savings. There's no better time to start a concerted savings plan than today. In this video, I am going to suggest small changes in your lifestyle and give you a list of practical tips and different types of steps that you can employ to reach this savings goal. I'm also going to give you a step-by-step guide on how to do this within 1 year. I know this sounds a little bit impossible at first, but trust me guys, I have done this myself. And if you just make these 5 to 7 different little small changes within your lifestyle, the savings will start to stack up really quickly. The first step in any project or goal like this is to have a strong why. Why do you want to save this money? Perhaps you're having a hard time saving money and you're living paycheck to paycheck. Or maybe you're one of those 21% of Canadians that have less than $1,000 in their emergency funds. Or perhaps you need to save towards a big purchase. Truth is, you really need to have a strong why about saving money in order to stay motivated. Or else, just like any other goal or New Year's resolution, you might actually give up on that goal as soon as you face some resistance. So, clarifying your why might be more important than the actual execution part of saving that money in the first place. So, tell me your strongest why in the comments below. The second thing with any goal is to break it down into bite sizes so that you can find it easier to implement. So, $10,000 a year is $833 a month, which actually comes to about $27.39 per day that you need to save. So what can you do to be able to put away just around $27.39 every day? You start from the basics. I remember one of my first jobs in Canada, I never took my meals to work. I would always step out to grab some food, and there was a nice restaurant just sitting conveniently just across the road. I didn't think that spending up to $15 a day sometimes was a big deal, until I was broke one time and I had to bring my meals from home in that period. That was when I saw the huge savings I could make from bringing my meals from home. Do you take your meals to work? If not, you might want to start doing that. And it's not as stressful as you might be thinking. Like, oh, I have to cook every day. Well, not really. You can actually plan out any meals ahead of time for the week or the month, and you can cook in bulk. And then you can just store them in bowls and just pick one every day to take to work. I bet you have a microwave at work. Trust me, you'll be amazed how much you could save in a month. You will. So tell me, do you take your meals to work or not? And why or why not don't you take your meals to work? I'd like to hear your thoughts. Drop them in the comments. Now, the third thing is making the effort to actually save money from your paycheck to paycheck. Now, one thing about making the effort to actually save money from your paycheck is to use what is called reverse budgeting. Reverse budgeting means you put your savings goal front and center. You move a chunk of your salary or your paycheck to your savings account before you get a chance to spend that salary. It's also known as a pay yourself first approach because you put money in your savings as soon as you get paid. So for example, let's say your monthly income is $5,000 and you want to save $500 each month. You set aside the $500 first and then you use the remaining $4,500 to spend on your expenses like your groceries, your bills, your rent payments, transportation, etc. And in order to do this reverse budgeting effectively, what you really need to be doing is set aside a portion of your paycheck and not even have a choice in the matter. That means that you can automate this process so that every time you get paid, you automatically set aside a certain amount of money from every single paycheck to go into a different type of account. Perhaps it's a high interest savings account where you can get a return on some of that money. But just make sure that you don't have any debit card or credit card linked to that account. And this is especially great for those people that just have no self-control or discipline, and this just forces them to save. The best part is that this forced saving mechanism actually works. And that's the fascinating thing about us as humans. We are highly adaptable to any situation or any type of environment we find ourselves in. Think about this for a second. If all of a sudden the government mandates that $100 be taken out of your paycheck, it would definitely suck. You would sulk and yell and maybe cry if you are like me. However, after a while, you would kind of get used to it and you'd probably find a way to make the remaining part of your money work for you. Trust me, I've experienced this myself. When I quit my job to go into business, in those first few months, my income was much lower, but I still found a way to make that lower income to work for me. So it meant making a lot of adjustments, but I found a way to make it work. So putting away like an extra $100 won't kill you. A lot of high interest savings accounts these days pay between 4 to 5% per year in interest. And I think the beauty of putting your savings in such an account is that your money will earn money for you more than a normal savings account. Even just $5,000 savings will earn you an extra about $20 a month or even more. And that's going to help you save that $10,000 even faster. And that's just the beauty of a high interest savings account. I have at least 3 high interest savings accounts, and they are bringing me good money. You could reach out to me and I could link you on how to start one. My contact details are in the description below. So now that your money is earning you more money, let's save some more money for you. And this time, let's try to figure out and track exactly where every single dollar is going in terms of the different categories that you are spending money on. The truth is, and I don't care how many times you may have heard it, it's that once you're able to see where your money goes, you will be wiser and you can make a plan to reduce the spending in those categories where you might be spending too much. For example, a lot of us, myself included, spend a lot on subscriptions. Sometimes I see a debit in my account and I'm like, what's that for? And I find out it's for a subscription I was maybe not even aware I had or had not used in a long time. So why am I paying for it? And it might be the same for you. Is it possible you have some subscriptions you're paying for that you shouldn't be paying for? Maybe you just forgot about it, or they just kind of slowly eat into your wealth if you keep them going and you don't need it. Statistics shows that the average Canadian spends $219 per month on tuitions. Unbelievable, right? And do you know that they probably don't use most of those subscriptions? If you're able to just cut down that subscription bill by even a fraction, it's going to really help you get on your way to save those $10,000 this year. Now, how much do you pay on car insurance? A lot, right? I pay a lot. And one day I had enough. And so I called up my insurance company to complain. And guess what? I came away with a reduced car insurance amount. Yeah. So one way that you can save money is to call your car insurance company and complain. And if that fails, you can shop around for different car insurance quotes and even home insurance quotes as well. And believe it or not, you can save up to $300 or even $600 per year. And you can even get the same coverage that you had before, even with a different insurance provider. Usually, it's just that people don't want to make the effort to call those insurance companies to see what other quotes that they can get. You are not bothering them. Trust me, they get such calls every day. So make that call today. You can even save more if you insure more than one car. Still, I'm cutting down to help you save money. Another category of spending that I think it's easy to cut back on is clothing. Yeah, clothes we wear. So the average Canadian spends about $161 a month on clothes. And I think that this is an easy category to cut back on. Don't you think? You could even halve that amount. Put it in half. I mean, how many sweaters do you need, right? The next thing, which is a big one that will help you save $10,000 within 1 year, is just to increase your income. It's as simple as that. Even if it's just very slightly, either through a side hustle or perhaps just learning a different skill. If you're able to find a side hustle that pays at least $100 or a little bit more every single month, you're going to get your savings goal of $10,000 a lot faster. There are many kinds of side hustles you can do. Perhaps you could drive an Uber with your car in your free time, or you could do some freelancing work. Who knows? In Canada, we pay a lot of taxes on everything we earn. So if you earn $1 in Canada, you're still paying, let's say, 20 to 30% of that in taxes. So you're really taking only about 70 to 80% home. You're only taking home about 70 or 80 cents on the dollar. So the goal of saving $10,000 effectively means trying to make about $14,000 or so before taxes. Now, one way you can avoid when it comes to savings is saving in a tax-free savings account or a TFSA. I talked in detail about the tax-free savings account, and I'm going to leave up the video at the end of this one, so please look out for it. So now that we have a list of practical tips and different types of steps that you can employ to get to your savings goal, we said that you could prep your meals at home instead of eating out, saving you about $250 a month. You can cancel unused subscription. That's another maybe $100 per month. If you earn some money with your side hustle every single month, that's about maybe $300. And then if you switch insurance providers, that can save you about $45 a month. Buy fewer clothes, and that could save you about $90 a month. And hopefully with a tax-free savings account, you can get another $200 a month. That will bring you to a total of $800 per month. And this can get you your savings goal a lot quicker. Even if you don't make that $800, you make less. The idea here is that these small changes in your lifestyle, as well as the small sacrifices you make, can actually amount to a lot of savings really quickly and can make it a lot more manageable. And hopefully with these tips, you would have your $10,000 to show for by the end of the year. If you found this video useful, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Check out my next video right up here on the details of how you can open a TFSA account and the benefits of a TFSA account. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for being here. Peace.